And welcome everybody. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Again, my name is Alverez, and I am a writer, author, just all-around creative individual. On social media, I am also known as Soul of a Man 504 on all social media platforms. And this is basically a roundtable discussion about the Black Panther movie and how can we create our own Wakanda and our own community. And I just want to thank my beautiful, amazing panelists for being with me on this Saturday. They could have been doing anything else on this Saturday, but I just want to really thank them for being here with me today. And we are going to start from the left to the right, and I'm just gonna have my beautiful panelists introduce themselves.
Hi everybody, my name is Sasha Mays. I want to take the time to thank Damon Alverez for one, being so patient and kind, and two, giving me this opportunity. I'm an actress. I've recently opened a company called Houston on the Map, which highlights a lot of people in Houston, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to discuss how can we build our own Wakanda based on the movie Black Panther. We encouraged us to come together today. I just want to say thank you again. My name is Sasha Mays.
Peace and blessings. My name is Master Fundi Fee. I am the founder of 13 Postures Academy. I am also the founder of U University on Facebook. I also have a clothing line called #Hennified. Also do henna, of course, that's the actual origin of the Hennified line. I also have a jewelry wrapping company called Stone Heels, and that's exactly what they do. I have a publishing company called P Money Inc., where we do self-publishing for any and all people for books just as is. I also have a stake in a business right here in Third Ward called Our Little Red One Shop, which is Houston's one and only Black-owned apothecary. So if you guys need candles or herbs or anything of that nature, come on out and see us. Last but not least, I am one of the few Black women who were inducted into 2016 Wudang Hall of Fame for Tai Chi. So that is one of my...
I clap for that.
Yeah, that was a Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you. I'm from DC.
Hello, my name is Keena Daniel Jones. I am the talk show host for Talk with the Fellas radio show. I am an entrepreneur and I am an empowerment speaker. And I'm glad to have the opportunities because of Damon to be here.
And one of the main reasons I picked these young ladies because one form or another, either I wanted to work with them or I've worked with them before, and I see they always say the old adage is game recognizes game. So I always I love my mind always goes a mile a minute. I love just working around. I just love being around creative people. These young ladies just epitomize, that's my big word for today, epitomize creativity, they epitomize creativity in their own beautiful way. But with that being said, since we got those introductions out of the way, we're going to go ahead and go into our question session, and we're going to start with Ms. Keena. The first question is, how can we individually make our own Wakanda?
I just believe in starting with where you live. In the area that we live in, you can start developing Wakanda. You can protect and observe and make sure it stays positive. In my neighborhood, we have something like that. We're not assigned to HOA. We're not part of the. What's that? You used to call people that will be out there screening people, like for the law enforcement. Yeah, we're not part of the neighborhood watch, but we just take it upon ourselves as neighbors to look out for one another.
Yeah.
So I believe you can start where you live in your own neighborhood. So that's my answer.
Same question. Okay. Trying to slip that one. How to create a woman. Well, first, we have to understand what Wakanda was about in the movie. And Wakanda was a symbol of non-colonialism mindedness. That is where you start building your Wakanda. You start building it with a new mindset that is outside of the one that we have been taught. Because you have to remember, that's a whole world that kept itself isolated from the rest of the world. It's like when China dropped its Iron Curtain and completely ratified its country. It had to ratify the minds of the people first and isolate them in one spot. So to build a new Wakanda, we have to do something that we were systematically told not to do, and that is actually separate ourselves once again so we can heal ourselves separately from everybody else, like everybody else got the chance to.
When you said stop separating, I agree. Because one of the things that I cannot stand to be asked is not where you're from, but what part of Houston you're from. They're automatically segregating you based on their experience. Because I've lived all over, and in order for us to build our own, we have to get rid of that we're from different colonies, different tribes. You know, they settled in Wakanda, different tribes, but they came together. You get that?
Yes.
They came together. But here's, I'm from this side of town. I know how you are. I don't deal with people on this side of town because of that, from their experience. But if they just get outside of that box, open their mind, and actually get to know someone, I think the better way to build our own Wakanda is communication, being more open-minded, you know, and actually spending time with people, one-on-ones, finding out their needs, seeing what you can do to help naturally, without necessarily always going the extra mile, which is good, but, you know, naturally coming together. That's it.
Very beautiful and amazing answers from very, very intelligent ladies. And now you see why I picked the panel that I have right now. And I'll answer that question myself, you know, as far as building your own Wakanda. I think it really starts from within. I feel that in the African American or Black community, a lot of us, we don't really know our own history. And by seeing that Black Panther movie, it gave a lot of us a lot of pride. You know, a lot of pride. You know, so we had the pride of the Panther. You know, so and with that being said, I think is that you can just, you know, you can start where you are. You know, just like one of the panelists said, you can start where you are. You can hone and grow your own talent. You know, you don't need a million people. You don't. You have, you know, nowadays we have a thing called the internet. So if you just instead of getting on social media and Facebook first thing, you know, just Google something. You know, get on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is like a video library of anything that you really want to know. So, you know, if you really want to learn, if you're not a reader, get on YouTube and learn something about yourself. So I think, and another reason why I really wanted to do this is because a lot of people talk it, but a lot of people don't walk it. So, you know, it's often said that, you know, it takes a village and all that good stuff, but our village it's there, but you have to go out to reach for it and all of that good stuff. But you know, yeah, it definitely can be done, and we're all living witnesses to that. All right, so the next question is, what was the main takeaway from the Black Panther?
My main takeaway from the Black Panther movie was it was a black on black critique from both sides that was told by a white man.
Hit the nail on the head, boy. Woo!
Truth or not, it was still a black on black critique by a white man from the outside looking in. from a Superman perspective. Because we have to remember, this is a comic book character, first and foremost. This is not real. People, this is not real. I read comic books. I'm telling you it ain't real.
Get that mic right.
I will hold it up. That being said, we have to remember what the cosmology of Superman was. Superman was born Superman. Clark Kent was his alias and also his critique on humankind. So think about that for a minute. Go back and watch the movie from that perspective, and then look back not only in the black community, every ethnic community on the planet suffers from this same mythology problem. It's not just us.
Great answer. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Ms. Kina. Same question. What was your main takeaway from the Black Panther?
My main takeaway was how sometimes your loyalty can be tested. You know, the example of when the warrior, I guess when they thought the king had passed away, died or whatever after the fight with Killmonger, when she had to decide whether or not she was going to follow his lead, Killmonger's lead, versus staying loyal. And you could tell her emotions that she was loyal, but you know, she still cared about the original king. So then when they had to fight and she made a choice, when she saw Killmonger was not on the right end, she made a choice. So it just tells you sometimes you just have to make choices based on what's right. You know, how, you know, sometimes it may not be right for the next person, but it may be right for you. So you have to be able to make your own choices when it's about loyalty. So I think she made the right choice at the end. And initially, you know, me and her probably would have made different choices. But in the end, she was for what's right for the king and the people.
Like she mentioned, that it was an opinion based on what someone else seen, and she was saying that the loyalty, what someone else had seen, that you wouldn't necessarily say women, but people tend to follow someone no matter what their belief is, you know, whether they agree with it or not. You know, you're strong enough, you have the strength enough, but from what they can see, and they painted the pictures, I'm loyal no matter who's in that throne, you know, and that's like not really how it should. You know what's right, but what they see is they just follow anybody. You get what I'm saying? They just follow anybody. They also showed in the film how father figures tend to cover up lies, and they go along with stories that would make themselves feel better, and they would think that this is the best decision for the community if I do this, if I X myself out or X this person out. So they show the absentee of the father, the brother killing the brother, you know what I mean? The betrayal, different ways of dealing with betrayal, having the resources to come together, but actually wanting to use violence to come together initially, you know, of the African versus American thing, even though we're all, you know, the same race. You know what I mean? There's so many things you could point out. You know what I mean? There's so many things you could point out if you really look at it. You know, there's a lot that could be changed. You know, being there, no matter what. If it's not your child biologically, if it's in the family, take that child on. You know what I mean? There's some coming together, you sharing the resources. You know, regardless of not using violence to come together initially. You know, to make a point. So there's so many things we're doing. Yeah.
Very true. Well said. And in the movie, there's so many different perspectives that they hit on, ancestral, cultural, historical. So I mean, we can just take one aspect and just talk about that forever. But, you know, right. But my main takeaway was that the fight between the first fight, when they were trying to crown a new king between T'Challa and M'Baku. When T'Challa was on the ground, his mother said, "Remember who you are." So we have to remember who we are as a people, as a race, and we have to go back to our natural roots, and we got to go back to our ancestral practices. That's cool, you know. It's cool, you know, if you believe in God and Jesus, but you know, just do your research. You know, just do your research and look at your history. Okay, so my next question is seeing a Wakanda in our lifetimes possible? I know we just had Barack in office. We were all happy. Now it seems that some people aren't happy. I'll get into that, but so do you think seeing a Wakanda in our lifetime is possible?
Well, my opinion, I think it's possible, but I'm not sure if everyone would put in the effort. So it has to be an individual choice. I believe it can be done, but we have to all come together. So, yes. I would like to. I would be on board.
Yeah.
Myself, but you have to put effort individually into it.
True.
Right.
Very true.
No.
Is it possible?
No.
The idea being put out there, yeah. But is it
The idea is possible, but it is possible for a rock to move too, but it doesn't happen until something kicks it. No. And I just need to be a realist about this question because, and I come from a place of excellence.
Yeah.
And Wakanda was about individual excellence.
Yes.
My question has to come. If each individual is not ready to put forth their individual excellence, no, Wakanda is not possible. It is still just a pipe dream, like looking at a rock waiting for it to move. It's possible, sure.
Yeah.
But nothing's gonna move that rock until an outside force acts upon it, because that is a law of nature. So until something puts a foot in all of our individual posteriors, gluteus maximus and minus, no, Wakanda is not possible. It is a pipe dream, and you too are living in a comic book.
Well said.
Good point.
All right, Ms. Sasha, same question. Do you think it's possible to see a Wakanda?
Honestly, at this day and age, no, but the desire is there. I say that because what we're doing is living in the past. We're constantly reteaching the same stuff over and over. You know, we want to keep these people branded and inside of a box. You know, we want to keep this Willie Lynch mind frame. I can't remember to say that. But yes, you get what I'm saying. You know, separating, just closed-mindedness. If we create new information, was accurate information, let me say that, accurate information, updated information for us to deliver, our children won't have to grow up with that segregated mind frame, that selfish mind frame, that I want it all. You can want it all, be on top, but still help others at the same time. You know, if we stop looking into the past, know your history, but if we stop living from the past, you know, if you notice a certain time of year, there's the same movies that are being played, same type of movies that are being released. You know, you have to keep you emotionally stagnant. in order for us to move forward. You know, like I don't understand that. Let's teach something new. If we're not there anymore, why focus on it? I believe if you focus on something so much, you manifest it, you bring it into existence. So if we're focusing on all of this ignorance, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're creating. But if we provide intelligent information, you know, just information to where people can come together and just drive them to come together instead of understanding what we used to do back when, you know, I think that can make a difference. Then it will be possible if we stop living in that, we just let it go. Understand your history, but let it go, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And very great answers. You know, I feel that individually, you know, we can see Wakanda as far as putting our talents out there, maybe working with smaller groups and doing it national and globally. But as far as trying to do it with all African Americans in the country right now, it's like always, you know, I ask myself a question. You know, how do you wake a sleeping giant? And after the giant is awake, how do you tell a giant that it is a giant? So that's where we are right now, and you know, trying to pull dead weight. You know, we don't have time for that, man. Lord knows but you know, I'm just saying. But you know, great answers, ladies. The next question is, how important is it to embrace your culture and your heritage? And you just touched upon this, so I'm going to start with you.
I always say that I am a pot of gumbo. And for me, what that means is my family is very diverse, literally. Like my dad, he says, you know, you grew up with your father that says, I'm praying again or whatever, but that's all I know from my father. But from my mom, I know my dad, straight up native African American, with the world would identify. My mom, she is more of a, she doesn't speak any other languages but English, but her father is Mexican. So my grandfather is Mexican, which makes my grandmother, she's Creole and white, so they made my mom. So to embrace your cultures, for me, that's all I know. That's all I know is to be open, not just only what you know, but to be open, because my family comes from so many different backgrounds. Literally, you have all shades, all languages, all kinds. So off the top, you have to be open, and that's I saw something not too long ago saying that we're taught to be ignorant, we're taught to be closed-minded, taught to just stick to one thing, but you can embrace, but still be open at the same time. Yeah.
It is important to be honest about our culture and our heritage. And this is what's honest about the culture and heritage of the quote-unquote African American. We were genetically engineered.
That's a good way to look at it.
We were produced. We were produced out of the best, the finest, and the meekest that they could find. Knowing that, to embrace our heritage, we have to embrace the fact that you go back far enough is a great big question mark. Because most of us cannot go further back than 4 to 5 generations, period. So to say to us, embrace your heritage, I honestly sit back and ask you, which one?
That's a good one.
Yeah, sure.
The one I was mixed with? The one that you hand-fed me?
Yeah.
Or the one that I actually experienced? Because they're different. And depending on who looks at me, sees a different culture. And the fact that my excellence, to get my excellence, I had to step outside of my culture to do it.
Up here.
To ask me to embrace my heritage, I have to tell you, I wrote a whole new one.
Did you just say?
It's not that I didn't build on the one I had, had, but the one I had was broken. So I have to start new with this new thing that I was created to be. Not of my own making, because somebody else said that this was how it's gonna be for a certain amount of time. Now I have to deal with that. So to tell me to embrace my culture, look at the pain I have to embrace. And my body knows that pain. My genetics know that pain. It never forgot it. But not only did it never forget it, nobody ever told me how to fix it. That's my heritage. How do we fix that?
How do you fix it?
Wakanda? No, not with that. Wakanda was never broken.
So true.
Not to cut you off when you say that, how do you embrace your culture? I just really brief. To me, it may not seem huge to most, but for those who do understand what I'm talking about. I was working this job. I started the job with my hair curly, afro-y, just natural as can be, air dry. The first day I wore my hair straight, the boss tells me, wear your hair that way from now on. Don't wear it curly. It's more professional that way. I'm born this way. So my natural state is unprofessional to you. When you let your hair air dry, it looks different from mine. So that's unprofessional. So yeah, alternative. I understand. That's just a snippet of the stuff you go through. Yeah.
It's very important, but like the lady said, we just don't have one heritage. We're like a pot of gumbo, pretty much. You know, so you're like, which one? You know, how many of us? How far can we go back? You know, how far will you allow me to go back?
I want to.
Yeah. So, and to piggyback off of what you said, I understand because in corporate America, I had a coworker. She was hired for a business analyst position, and she went out to do like pop-up compliance, make sure that agents were following the guidelines that they should have been. So when she was hired, she was very professional. She had straight hair. And all of a sudden, I want to say 2 months later, she decided to wear her hair natural. Well, unfortunately, it was just a matter of time, and she was gone. So there was no evidence of her
She broke the mold.
Yes, there was no evidence of her making any mistakes on the job.
I gotta make sure
Yeah,
you
it
hear
wasn't any evidence that she made any mistakes at the job. She always carried herself very professional, a good person, good attitude. But for some odd reason, she was let go after she started wearing her hair natural. And it was, to me, it was just so obvious what had went on, because there wasn't too many women on the job at that time wearing natural hair. So
or being the only one in the office.
yeah, so it's very important. Yeah.
Very well stated and very, very deep. How do you follow up that? But you know what? I just want to say, like, as far as your heritage and culture goes, you know, we have thousands of years of you want to call it Black history to look at. You know, they say the first woman to walk the planet was black. They call her Lucy. You know, I mean, you can look it up on YouTube. But how did you, right? So you know, she got the kinky hair, and you know, they always try to cover up our history. Just like Master Fee said, we can only go back maybe like a few generations. They said we got on slave ships. We were free. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. Barack Obama, and they dropped the mic and we out. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's not like that. It's not like that. You know, right. Exactly. Yeah. So we have to. You know, I mean, but thankfully now there's so many, so many books out there, and there's so much information that we can do as far as our genealogy goes. Sad that we have to pay for it, but for now, that's just how it is. So my next question is, what does having your own voice mean to you? And I'll start down here with Ms. Keith.
Well, having my own voice means to me just putting out positive vibes, trying to make negative situations. That's what I try to do. I try to keep an open mind on things. If I can pass on wisdom to the next generation to prevent them from making any mistakes that I've made while, going through life myself.
Yes.
So that's my thing. I'm always looking out for the next generation. I think we all can be symbols of wisdom to the next generation. That's just me.
What does having my own voice mean? Well, my voice came with my hands. I was a black woman who went through competition, and when I got to the female fighting, nobody wanted to fight me anymore. So it was no good just to go get the gold medal. I didn't earn that. I didn't even want it at that point. So my teacher was like, let her fight the dudes. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. He's like, no, for real, you can do it. And I truly believe that if I did not have my own individual idea of myself, I would have never stepped in that ring and fought that dude for his title. Having my own voice means that I can walk into a place and stand on my own, and in allowing myself to speak my voice and my mind creatively, individually, with my own self, not hearing my teacher, not hearing my mom, not hearing my dad, but you are hearing me. That gives everybody in the room the same permission to do it. Even if your voice trembles, speak your truth. You never know who needs it, and you never know who it's gonna save. Because the person it saves, you'll never know until years later when they come back to you and go, hey, you remember you were somewhere and you said such and such and such and so, and you go, I don't remember that. I did a whole bunch of talks, dog. I don't remember that at all. That saved me, man. I did such and such. I started my business. I got my girls back, blah, 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 blah. So you never know what your experience or how your experience correlates or will change somebody else's experience. Draw that line, make that point, be yourself. Above all, be yourself.
To me, having your own voice is making a difference. She mentioned that you never know what your experience can do for someone else. I remember having a personal conversation with someone, and they were asking why they didn't hear from me. And I said, well, I go into a cave when I'm going through problems. I don't want to talk to nobody, and I'd just rather deal with it on my own. And he said, you never know who you can help when you're going through your situation. A lot of times people expect to see you in the end when things are all good and, glory. But what about when you're going through it? People need to know about the nights you slept in your car. People need to know about those nights that you've struggled and suffered. Having a voice is making a difference, whether you know so or not. You're speaking something positive into someone's life, even if you grab someone's attention. Now that you have their attention, think about what you can do with it. That's what having a voice is to me.
very well said and very powerful. Again, you know, this is why I chose these young ladies. You know, yes, the mind has the magic eye, baby.
Very good guy. Very good guy.
But you know, and yeah, and, you know, I just want to say, like, you know, having your own voice is very important, especially in this social media age that we live in. You know, it's not hard to, you know, I know that social media now has algorithms. It's hard to see people's stuff, but it's not really hard to speak out. I mean, I grew up as a very quiet kid. You know, I mean, you'll never know that now, but you know, along my journey, I had to learn. You know, and I've had great mentors and I've had great individuals, and I mean, I've had my highs and I've had my lows, but it's just like somebody said, it's what we're talking about here today. I want it to be something that's set so generations down the line can see it. Even after we're long gone, people can say, like, man, you know what, let me look up who Fundy is, let me look up who Keena is, let me look up who Sasha is, you know. And at the end of the day, these people did great things with their powerful voices. And you know, and they just stepped out there and they did it. Okay, so the next question is what is the biggest challenge in our society at the moment? And I'm going to start to my left with Sasha.
Selfishness. Selfishness, greed, control. Oh my God, you can have the sense of ownership without having to knock someone else down. Heartlessness. Did I make that clear? Did I make that clear?
Yeah.
People have genuinely forgot to care for others. That is where we stand. They don't care at all. I was riding in the car a few years ago, and when I was married, yes, I was married before. I was married, I had a stepson, and he was in the car with me, and we were driving by this accident that literally had bodies under blankets. And I was to the point of being in tears, and he was like, heartlessness, genuinely not caring for others. No compassion, because the whole social media is cool, yes, for marketing, networking, business, for, you know, for me, what I use it for, but it has taught people to not care, to forget how to communicate, to forget to connect with spirits. That's where our problem is. The lack of human compassion. I think that needs to change.
Well said. And Ms. Fundy, same question.
Y'all have to remember I'm a martial artist. So when I answer this question, you don't know why I answered it this way. Discipline. Lack of discipline. It just goes right there.
Yeah.
Lack of discipline. I mean, there's really no other. I've boiled this down, I've chopped it up, I've ginsued it, I've put it in my Jack LaLanne processor to try to get the juice out of it. It just came down to lack of basic discipline. Self-discipline, sexual discipline, intellectual discipline, body discipline, soul discipline, just eating discipline, moving discipline, just getting a handle on just being a disciplined individual. If we want to talk about Wakanda as women, let's talk about the fact that almost every woman in that movie knew how to fight. Do you know it takes 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 5 days a week, if not 7, to learn to have that type of fighting skill. And when I try to get women, my sisters, to buckle down, yo, just give me an hour. I don't even want 3. I just want 1. 2 days a week. We can't find that in our day, but we can find time to complain about high blood pressure, the acne on our face, our gout, our bloating, our this, our that, and the other. And then I say, well, what's your discipline look like? My what?
Yes, self-control. Yeah,
Discipline.
yeah.
Good answers. And I believe both of them. I agree with both of you. I believe discipline. I feel like if you don't have discipline, you're just not going to make it. You have to have some type of discipline in your life. And also, I agree with you when you talk about the selfishness. I feel like everybody is about themselves. Let me get on top, like crabs in the bucket. You know, and if once they get there on top, they're like looking down. They're not trying to help bring others up.
Right.
So, I think that both of your views are really well. I think that's my idea. Both of them, discipline and selfishness.
That's very true. I mean, we don't have to climb over each other. I mean, look what we're doing here. I mean, we're sharing knowledge and information. You know, we're just passing the mic along, and we're just.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Y'all gonna have to forgive me for a moment, but I watched the Animal Planet.
I love that.
Can we reanalyze the crab in a barrel idea? And this is why. Because I always hear us say this, but I've actually watched crabs in a barrel. And I saw what that did. And I'm going to tell you what it did if we allowed them to. Show you what it did. And we're going to reanalyze that right quick. Not that you're wrong.
Okay.
Crabs in a barrel are building a web up to the top of the bucket. When they get to the top of the bucket, the other ones climb on top of the ladder that the ones that have locked in place, so they can go over the side where they are held, so they won't fall into the abyss. As they go over the side, they keep locking arms until every crab in the barrel can get out through the ladder that has been created, up one side and over the other. They do not leave one of their comrades behind in that bucket. So we might have to reevaluate that crab in a bucket idea, because it might be right.
Catch more crabs. Yes, it's good.
Yes. Also, we're also teaching about animals and crabs. Also, that's amazing. Job.
You brought it up.
I've been crabbing. I've been crabbing.
We did a lot of crabbing. We did a lot of crabbing. So we watched a lot of crabs.
I wish we did catch that many.
We did a lot of crabbing. Norfolk, Virginia, we sat off the side of the road and we just crabbed for hours on end. So I got to watch what crabs in a bucket did for survival. So that phrase always struck me funny when people said it. We act just like crabs in a barrel. Because in my head I would always say, if we did, we'd be out of this shit by now. You can bleep that out if you want.
We would be out of there.
Sorry, I love you.
No, that's good information.
Yes, good information. I didn't know. I was always taught that the crabs in the bucket was a
taking each
negative
other
thing.
down.
And taking each other down. Once somebody get up to the top, they don't try to help the ones get out the bucket. So that's what I was told. So this is a different perspective. Thank you so much. I received that.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
received that.
I love
Amen, amen.
We love learning information.
Y'all said we love learning.
And knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, yeah, because I'm from Louisiana myself, and that's all we ate was crabs and crawfish. I ate it for over 20 years. I'm sick of it now, but that's all we ate. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Like the chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next question is, what is one piece of practical advice you would give to someone starting out? And I'll start to my right here with you.
My advice to someone starting a business, just make sure it's something that you like to do. Make sure it's something that you're passionate about it, because you're gonna have your ups and your downs. And if it's not something that you like to do, it would be very, hello? Okay. It'll be very easy to give up. So you have to pursue something that you like. Because you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna have your ups and your downs. And it may be a lot of downs in the beginning, you know. So that's my advice. Get something, do something that you like. Also, I mean, you can make your money, but just make sure it's something that you would like to do.
I say start small. Start small and use street sense.
Oh my God.
Start small
But
and use
people
street
have
sense.
common sense,
I'm not
though.
gonna lie to you. If you can flip a sack, you can flip anything. Just use the flip mode method until you incorporate. You know, a lot of people will tell you need $10,000 in a business startup, this and a that. I started my business with $10 and a flip dream.
Whoa.
I now have property in Jamaica, and I am taking care of my sons, and I ain't struggling, so ain't nobody in my life struggling. I ain't bringing nobody in my life struggling.
Amen.
$10 and a flip mode dream. That's all you need. Street rules work for anything.
Right?
I mean, how you think America was built? We ain't.
Kennedy rule.
Don't be distracted. Let me say that. A lot of times people forget to be mindful of that because it can be people you love, actual blood. A lot of times they've been so used to being confined into a way of thinking that what you're doing doesn't make sense. It's not on the right track. So what you want to do is remember to always pray. Guidance is key. Always wanting to know that what you're doing is according to the will of God. That's my personal opinion. I don't know about everybody else's. But whatever you do, make sure you move with purpose. And that has meaning behind it. Don't waste your time with someone that's not necessarily on the same mission as you, but that doesn't have the same drive as you. So, don't waste your time, stay focused, and don't take things personal when someone may not believe in you or may not be on the same page as you. Keep moving forward.
Very great advice. Yeah, that moving forward is very key. I think Dr. King said if you can't crawl, if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, just keep moving. And that's the main thing that we do. Sometimes we get so stagnant. The world can beat us down, you know. I think, was it Sylvester Stallone said in Rocky, your biggest opponent and your biggest opponent is going to be life, because it's going to just keep beating you and beating you and beating you. But you have to be that point. You have to be the person to get up. You said one step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time.
That's right.
So, you know, yeah. We have to, like Master Fee would say, we have to have that warrior's mentality.
Believe in yourself. That's what I say. Don't listen to the naysayers. Believe in yourself. If it's something that you want to do, you can make it happen. It may not happen overnight, but you can make it happen. Believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself.
You get what you feel about it. If you fail and you feel bad about it, you will not get back up. The best character is carved out of hardship. It is not carved out of your achievements. It is carved out of your failures. Do not be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to get back up. Be practical, start small, and you will keep it all. An old man told me that long time ago, and I've never forgotten that small piece of advice because it has kept my butt covered forever. Keep it small. You will keep it all.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I definitely have to agree with you on that because let me just encourage some of you out there. Don't wait until the last minute. She mentioned keep it small and you'll keep it all. When I started my company, I started with a cell phone and a selfie stick. He knows.
Oh yeah.
He knows, like, don't wait for everything to be perfect and to be lined up for you. Use what you have and go, because God will put you in the right place at the right time and in front of the right people. I promise you, don't wait. If you have an urge, if you have a feeling, a thought, act on it, because it is given to you for a reason. You may not remember it, but you prayed about this answer. So if you have all of a sudden this urge to do something, this sense of urgency, go do it. Don't wait. Don't let nobody else around you all of a sudden redirect you to do this or do that. I gotta do this, I'll talk to you when I'm done. You know, etc. But just whatever you do, don't wait. Act on it and move.
Very, very well said, very beautiful stated from my amazing panelists, and you know everything that they said. You know, I just want everybody to take it to heart. Just want everybody to these golden nuggets. You know, everybody here is like the goose that laid the golden egg in a sense. You know, I mean, eventually, you know, like we came together, and I'm glad everybody, you know, I just want to thank everybody for doing this on today. Everybody's, you know, there's no big me, he, I, or she. You know, everybody is amazing in their own way. Everybody is amazing at everything that they do. And for my last question, I mean, is there like any parting words that you want to leave everybody watching at home and everybody here with?
Love, love, love in spite of. And I mean it. You may not like how someone acts, how they carry themselves, what they say, what they may do, whatever. Just love. I'm not saying you have to be in their space all the time, but love no matter what you do. That's it.
I challenge everyone to join a martial arts program. Whether it's Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua, Taekwondo, Karate, whatever, especially women. We have to remember that nothing will change until we change ourselves. When mothers can get in the backyard and go toe-to-toe with dad, that sets a whole different precedence in the house. Because there is no little I or little you in that house anymore. There's no subordinate in the house anymore. You are equals. And that's another thing that we should learn to take from that movie. Because when he decided that he was going to run up on her with her rhino, nature itself said, this ain't going to happen. And that brother had to slide down off her rhino. And he was like, who are you choosing? Me or Wakanda? She said, Wakanda. That is what black women have to come to. That there is a greater loyalty for the whole than to any one individual or an emotion called love. Love is greater than that. Love is something that goes beyond a small circle but encompasses everyone. That's why the president of Alibaba said, if you want your company to work as a whole, you hire women. If you want it to work as individual sections, you hire men. So if you want it to work as a whole, we need to get our foots off our women's necks and allow them to be the disciplined individuals that they were born to be outside of a man. Because I was born alone, I took my breath alone, I have my voice alone, I will stand alone, I will answer to God alone, and I will die alone. When we get that attitude, it'll change.
That's that good.
Well, I went to a women's conference this week, and this is what I learned. Stay focused, stay in your lane, and keep driving.
Yes.
That's my advice.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your huffy out her hoopty.
Keep driving.
And I mean, you know, I just wanted to, and again, I just want to thank these very beautiful, and you know, as you guys heard, these young ladies are just smart and powerful and talented, and I mean, their voices echo through time itself. And you know, and you know, my prayer, my hope is that this is seen by people who really need it, and it gives them the spark to get some kind of, to get their revolutionary minds going, so that they can reach their level of success. I mean, we all have our level of success, you know, whether you want a Pulitzer or a Grammy, you know, whether you want a flat screen TV in your house or you want to start your own business, you know, it's all in your mindset, you know, and I just wanted all of us to come together so we can speak on the Wakandan perspective. You know, I know it's a movie done by the Disney Corporation, but you know, in a sense, it's something that we've all never seen before. And I mean, yeah, we'll see it again because the movie made over $1 billion and it would make more money. That's for them. But for us, our takeaway has to be that it's something that's so powerful, that's so grand, that, you know, people like us, once upon a time, believe it or not, we ran the earth. We did, you know. I mean, you could, you know, through wars and migration, you know, you can say it was taken or stolen or however you want to look at it, but, you know, we're at the point now where we're just rising to the top. So, if nothing else, I mean, if we can, you guys want to end with Wakanda forever? Y'all done with that? No? Yeah? Okay. I'm free. Okay.
When they broke it, she had power. He was like, release that power. I was like, oh, it's powerful.
How we doing it?
Okay, so on three. All right, 1, 2, 3. Wakanda forever. And again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, for watching. If you beautiful ladies would like to give out your names, your social media, where everybody can find you.
Mine is very easy and uniform across the board. It is Sasha N for Nicole .Mays. So it's Sasha N .Mays. And you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat I rarely use, but in Facebook, also YouTube as well. Same name across the board, Sasha N .Mays.
Because I use every opportunity for branding.
That's funny. You know what I'm saying, Sasha?
You can catch me on Facebook under Fundi Fee, Twitter under the same name, Fundi Fee, and Instagram under Fundi Fee. That's FUNDIFE. Or you can catch me at #Hannafy. Again, skills you use when you was a lesser person.
Got it down.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter up under the same Talk with the Fellas, and also on Blog Talk Radio as well. Talk with the Fellas.
and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Soul of a Man 504, and on Facebook it's hashtag Soul of a Man 504, aka Damon Al, and everything will come straight up. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. We are going to wrap this baby so we can go and enjoy the rest of this rainy Saturday in Houston. And with that said, thanks again to Sasha and Master Fundi and Kina. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, as always, we out this piece. Peace.
Wakanda forever.
Thank you.